080 317 or 08155 917 917. Feel free to dial the numbers 07000 917 917 or 09155 917 917. Those are the numbers to get in touch with us this morning. By the way, because of Susan's face, I'm not sure if I said my name. My name is Rose Yusuf Kaiser, though. you you're tuned into Women Radio WFM 91.7, and this is 11, and this is the HerLens on Internet Supervi. This is HerLens. So yeah, these are some of the things that I'll be talking about, and I'm glad that Susan too is also someone who is into the issues of female genital mutilation, especially in this side of the country, Nigeria, and looking at it up north, because at the end of the day we get to hear a lot of these cases. So let's just start with you, Susan, before we have the advocates get to join us. Female genital mutilation. In 2017 was men and girls.
Rose, one shocking thing, I need to set the record straight. Female genital mutilation is violence, and I work and advocate against all in capital letter, all forms of violence. And like Rose rightly stated, people think it is a traditional thing. No, it's not. Do you know, Rose, that in the world, Nigeria has the highest survivors of female genital mutilation in the world? Is this happening? But it's the reality. And for women between the ages of 15 to 49, 1 in 7 women, that is the latest research, have experienced female genital mutilation. And you see, there are communities that are still mutilation, and you see, there are communities that are still doing it. And unfortunately, it lies within the southeast and the southwest, not even the north, as it were. Not even the north. Yes. So we agree, in all honesty, that a lot of advocacy has been going on, and the practice is declining. But for me, it's not as fast as it should. Millions of girls are still going through this female genital mutilation. It's because it is something that people look at and they feel. Some of them are because of pressure. People think it is only in the rural area. Like you said, Rose, it happens in the urban areas. It happens in educated households. It is not just happening in the rural communities. And so this it is a silent danger, because most times what you hear about violence is gender-based violence, maybe the physical one, the sexual one, and all of that. Most times you don't hear about female genital mutilation until days like this, where we have to, raise awareness. And this is why awareness should be a continuous thing. I remember one of the states I visited in 2023 and 2024. In that community, it is predominant. And if it happens to women who do not have disabilities, I ask, with all sense of humility here, what happens to women with disability? They don't have a say, because we don't have autonomy, as it were. People see that, oh no, you don't have a right. Are you even supposed to be interacting with an opposite sex? So anything, all of these myths that they have in their head. I am reiterating the fact that female genital mutilation is violence. It is not culture. This is very, very important to state here. And it has no health benefits. Some of the myths I noticed on the field was saying the health benefit, it will help you not to be attracted to the opposite sex, you will not be sexually active. All of those are myths. It violates your rights. I mean, a girl's right to her health, your bodily autonomy, like I spoke about. And that was why I cited the instance of women and girls with disabilities, because it's happening to others who do not even have any disability. How much more you? I mean, we need to keep speaking about this because it will help us, to free these people from violence, because people keep seeing it as something that, they are helping the survivors, but it is not so. Nobody is helping the other person. Do we have a law? Yes, we have a law since 2015. But if you ask me, the enforcement is weak. Just like many other laws that we have in Nigeria, we have so many documents that are excellent on paper, but they are not things that are implemented as it should. And for me, that is a big problem, because how many people have we heard that are being prosecuted? I mean, we have not heard any cases. And the community, as it were, from my research at the community level now, and this is not research I read, this is me being on the field, is that the community protects perpetrators, which is also a huge problem. So we need to keep engaging these people, raising awareness so that they understand the challenges female genital mutilation poses on its survivors. Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, Susan, for giving us, an open background to this. This is Your Women Radio WFM 91.7. It's 18 minutes past 9, and this is the program HerLens, okay, where we get to discuss, dissect, and disagree on topical issues right here on Nigeria's first radio station for women and their families. You just heard from Susan this morning. Now, Ibinabo has also joined us, and Felicia has also joined us. So before then, let's even understand what female genital mutilation is, just in case, we're wondering what this is. Now, this is the practice, this is what is practiced in some cultures, but I mean, it doesn't seem to be dying off. Now, this is the partial or total removal of the external genitalia of a girl or a young woman for non-medical reasons. Okay, so, and this is illegal in so many countries. So that's what we're talking about. So people are still doing it now. They remove the external genitals of a lady. So it's more like, it's the same thing as, Susan, if I'm not mistaken, it's same as female circumcision, Abby? She is the same thing with female circumcision.
Yes.
Yeah. So that we just know that that's it. We are going to rule that out. Because I read about it that it was the same, but I just wanted so that people are able to, so that you not say Rose said it, but let's understand that this is the same thing as female circumcision. And we're trying to say that, no, that is wrong. That is not needed, because for what medical reasons are you doing that? For the male, we get to understand that, but for the females, why? When there are a lot of other complications that could come as a result of that. And so many women, young girls, their lives have been affected through this. So that's why we're talking about it today. And that's why even United Nations, the whole world, is recognizing that female genital mutilation is not it, and we need to stop it. All right, let's get to great Ibinabo. Let's know how Ibinabo is doing before we bring in the advocate this morning. Hi, Ibinabo, how are you? How is the weekend looking like already?
Good morning, everyone. The weekend is beautiful. Every day is beautiful.
Yeah.
Good morning, Lady Rose. Good morning, Lady Susan. Good morning, Felicia. Good morning to all our valued listeners. It's great to be here. Thank you.
Good morning to you too, Ibinabo. It's good to hear from you. All right, so we'll bring in our advocates now, and then after then, we get to hear from Ibinabo on her thoughts on female genital mutilation and how it is going. So, Felicia Bawo Akpan Etuk is an advocate for, on the female genital mutilation going on, and she is also she's from Youth Empowerment Foundation. That's the organization she works with, and they get to do a lot of talk about female genital mutilation, menstrual health, WASH, that's the water, sanitation, and hygiene. So just, a lot of issues surrounding women and young females. So we're going to go ahead and bring her in. Hi, Felicia. How are you today?
Hello, good morning. I'm fine, thank you.
All right.
It's good to be here. Hello.
It's good to have you here with us this morning. So, Felicia, let's get straight right into it. Now, a disturbing, number that we have actually seen as regards to female genital mutilation, coming from the United Nations, is that we have about 4.5 million girls who are at risk of female genital mutilation in 2026. Felicia, please help us make sense. We have been talking about female genital mutilation for God knows how long. So is it that we're not going forward? Or is it that people are not hearing? Or is it that the dangers that comes with this, we don't understand it yet? So why are we even doing it in the first place when it has no medical, explanation to it? There's no medical reason, for us to be going through with this. Just help us understand the situations around female genital mutilation, especially in an environment like ours, Nigeria.
Okay, well, this topic on female genital mutilation is a huge one, and it's really heartbreaking because we've seen so many instances where we go to the fields to create awareness on female genital mutilation, and we realize that the fact still remains that we are still deep into our culture. We feel it's a culture that should never be erased. And the more we preach the word, the more we get resentment from our older ones. And we keep wondering why. Because we feel our culture has to be preserved. Not minding the lives that might go to it while doing this, or people's psychology you're destroying, or anything. And I had an opportunity discussing with one person who does this thing. And she was like, no, our culture has to be kept. It keeps women from chasing men and all that. And I tried explaining to this person in particular that, do you know the implication, the psychological implication, the emotional implication these individuals are going through because of this cultural preservation? And she was like, no, it's part of it. I did it, my foremothers did it, and it will end up down to me. And it will take a whole lot for us to remove ourselves from the culture, because placing the culture from what is meant to be now is kind of difficult. And with greater awareness, and like my older colleague actually said before I joined, because I heard her talking, our legal system is actually failing us. If our legal system can actually work well, and when we find, because I have instances of people reporting such cases, and at the end of the day, you just find out that one way or the other, the case dies down. It's either the family, or even the judiciary itself delay justice, which is actually making this practice more predominant rather than it's reducing. So I think that's just it. We have not found a way to differentiate our culture from individuals and our rights. So that's the major problem currently.
All right, thank you very much, for pointing out that particular problem. Now, let's even look at the dangers of female genital mutilation. So, what are some of the dangers that this poses to, women and girls? So that maybe when we understand these things, we'll make better decisions as regards to this.
Well, like I said earlier on, there are a lot of dangers attached to this practice. The first one is physical danger, because that actually leads to someone's death. There is a cause for this, and once you chop it off, because that's the best word I can use, then you the types of the purpose of chopping off repeated, and so that alone has disrupted the biological programming of a woman. Now, another one is the emotional disruption. Pain that comes with my greatest surprise, the mode of the word, last person spoke with, they call them in Yoruba and they call them Olola. Olola, that's what they call them. They are the ones that do the circumcision for female. They said, when I asked them, what do you use to treat them after cutting off this thing? They said they use chile water, or they use water from squeezed cassava leaves, or they use fermented charcoal water as mode of healing. So please, how are they not scared of the infections that will come in all the process of healing before we don't even see healing? So that's the way I'm emotional. The likelihood of infection arising or even leading to death or anything. Now, then the psychological effects. I've spoken with so many girls who have gone through this genital mutilation. They tell me, especially the married ones, when the opportunity to find them while in food, they say they don't get sexually aroused to their husband. They feel sex is a pain. It shouldn't be enjoyed. And I'm like, wow. So these are the effects of female genital mutilation: the physical, the emotional, and the psychological effects, and which is really, really taking away the female rights in all sense. Because a lady who goes through all these effects, physically, emotionally, psychologically, cannot do well. And once we have two or more individual female who are not doing well, it will definitely tear along the society itself. So these are the effects.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for giving us all of these effects, Felicia. It's quite a lot, because when you get to, so sitting among your peers and you're hearing, oh, how they get to have, smooth emotional or sexual relations with their partners, and you cannot even, talk about it or experience it, is something. The infection that comes with it, and so many other dangers that comes with the female genital mutilation, and while we are trying to avoid it. Now we're looking at, urine retention and, infections that could probably, to some extent lead to death. It could just be a lot. It comes with a lot of other dangers. There's the issue of maybe, menstrual problems that could come up. Obstetric fistula too is one of the dangers that could actually come up with this. So there are lots of other things, infertility, chronic infection. So we're trying to see that we stop this totally, so that to an extent we reduce all of these issues. So at this point, I'll bring in Ibinabo, to tell us, what she thinks about female genital mutilation, and, maybe you have one or two questions to ask our advocates, because now them they feel, and now them they hear, and now them they see most of these cases. So let's hear from you, Ibinabo.
Thank you, Rose. You guys have said a lot. You see, if you want to attack something, you have to let the people know why. You have to give them very strong reasons. Because at the back of my mind, I just feel that above and beyond tradition is money. Do you know that in some communities they have association? Maybe our guests can confirm that later. They have association of FGM quarters.
Are you serious?
I was told. A lady told me that in their community that they have association, they have the most senior person being the leader of the association. And when they get paid, there's a fraction of the money that goes to the head of the association and all of that. So I'm telling myself that when there is money to make from this thing, it will be difficult to eradicate it, because some people have turned it to their means of livelihood. Just as people make money from male circumcision. So you see, that aspect has to be looked into. Those ones making money from it must understand the negative aspect of what they are doing. And also, we have laws. These laws speaking or frowning at female genital mutilation. How many states do we have these laws domesticated? And even in the states we have these laws domesticated, how well is the implementation? How strong is the implementation? And how many people have been prosecuted for perpetrating that act? Because it is illegal. If a law says no to something and you practice it, you are kicking against the law. And kicking against the law comes with consequences. So how many people have been punished for it? And then again, you see, I know it's not easy, but making it an every 6th of February business cannot really avail much. Because, you know, naturally, when you discuss something once or maybe two, 3 days a year, what happens to the rest of the days of the year? People forget. It doesn't have any strong footing, because you talk about it on the 6th, maybe you start on the 5th, 6th, 7th, and then everybody goes back home. I'm not saying, I mean, how do you make it a business? You cannot, because you have other things you're doing. So for this where we need the government to come in. When I say the government, I'm looking at the federal government putting it upon the state government, and the state government putting it upon the local government. And we live in a country where councillors, we just know that we have councillors, we don't know them. We don't know what they do. What are their responsibilities? They are just collecting salary and all manner of share or whatever, and they don't know them, we don't know where they are, and all of that. Because if all of these ones continue with this advocacy, it will avail much progress. It would tone this act down, and gradually we will see very, very visible, very, massive results. But if it is all about, some people who are very passionate about it, people like Polusha has a business. Polusha has other things she does. She's not going to talk about FGM for 365 days. So what happens after this period? Where is the place of government in all of this? Is it all about maybe somebody has enough energy to raise her voice when probably she's a mother or she's about to be a victim of FGM, and she makes a noise about it, and then the relevant ministry gets to know, and then they talk about it briefly. Is that it? That is not enough. This is an age-long practice. So we cannot eradicate it with occasional discussion like this. It has to be something that is the pressure must be enormous, so that those associations will be broken. They will look for other means of livelihood and not make FGM a profession. There are so many things that need to be done. We are doing a lot, but it is not enough, because mostly it is women who carry out this circumcision. And it is the female that are suffering for this thing. And these people do not want to stop making the little money they make from this. And in some communities, when you are not circumcised, you are perceived as being unclean, you are perceived as being immoral. Families fear that their daughters will be rejected, mocked, and unable to. Because in families in such communities, nobody would allow their sons to marry a girl who is not FGM'd, if I can use that word. So you see, it is a lot. It is a lot, and the work is enormous, and we are still scratching the surface. And I give who have not given up, those who are still on it, people like Susan and some other people that I know. But I want to say that without the enormous support of government, it is always going to be like, the scale will be retreating. the progress will begin to reverse. It will be doing a back and forth. Nobody makes progress with back and forth. Progress has to be moving forward continuously. Are we moving forward continuously on this advocacy? No, I tell you. We are just gravitating around a spot because we need the heavy support of government. People are more afraid of government than NGOs because they know that government can punish them. Government can put them behind bars and they cannot do anything about it as long as there's a law to back it up. So you see, we have a long way to go because you need to clean the mindset of people who believe that daughters who are circumcised are wayward. A parent will tell you that my son cannot marry an uncircumcised lady because as their son will share the lady with other men. It is a bad mindset, it is a wrong mindset, but that is what it is. And also, I met a lady so many years ago. She told me something. She said nobody told her that she was circumcised. She didn't know. So when she started dating and started, she became sexually active. She said when she was everything was all pain. And she was like, what is it? That kind of thing. But she could not speak up. She said her partner was always very satisfied, but she was always in pain and all of that, sometimes bruises and all of that. And she didn't know what was wrong with her. She would change partners, the same story. When she hears ladies talk about, some married women that are supposed not to talk about some things by the assumption of some. They talk about, apart from giving birth, letting pregnant and all of that, this activity is something that you should mutually enjoy. And she doesn't enjoy it. All she felt was pain. So she stopped it. She stopped having all of that. She said she became afraid of getting married because, and all of that. And eventually, in the course of wanting to know what was wrong with her psychologically and everything, she realized that she was FGM'd. So from there, she told her parents, she got to know that, that is getting con and all of that. She became frustrated. Is there a way we could reverse it? They said no. And that was the journey of depression. So you see, we need to let parents understand that sometimes your children will fall into depression and life will become to them because this issue that they are nursing is irreversible. So there are so many, we need stringent points to give to parents. Parents should understand that being wayward is a mindset. Rose, being wayward is a mindset.
Yes, I agree.
And that is down there. The first place that being wayward starts is from your mind. You look at a guy and you begin to imagine yourself in his arms. You begin to imagine him doing one or two things to you. That has nothing to do with your genitals. Yes. It is mind, it's from your head. So if parents don't understand that and they continue to allow their children, their daughters to be mutilated and put to so much pain and all of that, it is very unfair. Because I believe that if a newborn today has a say, could speak, could stand for herself, so many of the girls mutilated would have said, no, I don't want this. Serve any medical purpose, it doesn't serve any good thing, nothing, absolutely nothing. So what is it? We need to, this has to be around the clock advocacy. It is not a 6th of February thing. If we want to see significant results, it has to go beyond a 6th of February business. The government must be involved. It must be one of the things that all of these our politicians must begin to do as we go about campaign. Put it as part of your campaign. Stop this act, please. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Ibinabo, for your thoughts on this and the call and the calling on government and urging them to do the right thing and us too as parents. Let's not follow the crowd. Let's not use some kind of societal push to go ahead and make our children suffer at the end of the day. So as we wrap up in this conversation, Susan, let's hear your final words on this, and then we get to hear from Felicia too before we call it a day in just a few minutes. Hi, Susan, are you with us?
Okay, so very quickly, I want to address, we have said so much as it were, but I want to address
yes, how. Please go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Louder.
Yes,
okay, so for me, what actually works to end FGM, which is female genital mutilation, will be one of my major concerns. And for me, I think we need to engage both mothers and fathers, traditional rulers, religious leaders. We need multi-sectoral at the community level, so that when we have these people as our allies,
Hi, Susan.
in the different communities, they will take this message forward, because the voices of survivors matters. And again, for me, one of my major call to action to end FGM will be, please, we need survivors to speak up. We need survivors, because again, like I said, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
All right.
Okay, so my call to action, because in all of this, we are looking for a way forward, which was what I said. We need community engagement, fathers, mothers, traditional rulers, religious leaders. All of these people have to come on board. And for this it's important that we protect them, we demand accountability, and more importantly, we allow them speak up, because in Nigeria, so many things are shrouded in silence, and it's not good for both women and young girls alike. And a Nigerian girl who grows up,
let's not hear you well, but thank you very much for your thoughts and the way forward. So, Felicia, let's come to you to wrap up this part of the conversation for us. What's the way forward? How do we then how do we move from here?
My colleague is
down noise, Felicia.
All right, yes, sorry. Okay, yeah, so I can hear you. So I think the first thing first, now we need more NGOs to help in creating awareness, because they are the one in the community. So the more NGOs we get speaking and creating awareness about female genital mutilation, the more we get to the community leaders, the more we get to the people, the more we get to the parents, because the NGO, the CDOs are the best persons, because they are in the community. Then also, we also need to ask or plead with the government to enact every laws available against genital mutilation. They need to enact them and ensure that the penalties, the fines are grave enough to avoid people doing it. Because I can't imagine you telling me that if I'm caught doing it or making arrangement for it, I'll be fined for 200,000 or what? If it's 200, I can't afford to pay. So we need solid laws, solid punishments against female genital mutilation. With that, it will curb the excess practice of female genital mutilation we have currently in our country. So I think that's the best way forward in curbing it.
Right. So thank you very much, Felicia, for taking our time to be a part of the program this morning. We do appreciate your insights and the good work that you're doing. Please keep doing at it until we reduce this 4.5 million girls who are at risk of FGM in 2026. So thank you very much for being a part of it this morning.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
That's great. Thank you too. All right, this is your Women Radio WFM 91.7. This is HerLens on Nigeria's first radio station for women and their families. And of course, this is still where we get to discuss, dissect, and disagree on topical issues. And we looked at female genital mutilations, the cases surrounding it, and how we can move forward and do better as a country. And of course, to do our own quota to reduce the number of girls who are at risk of female genital mutilation, which is just female circumcision, in a layman's term. All right, so let's get to other issues. Hey, Ibinabo, that actually brings to mind. I don't know. Okay, hello. Hello, good morning.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Oh, yeah. Good morning. How are you?
If you're still there. Okay.
Good morning. I'm here. Good morning. How are you?
Oh, good morning. Good morning.
Yeah.
What's your name? Where you
I
calling
want
from?
to contribute to this topic. I'm
Please go
calling
ahead.
from Ibafo.
Please go
My
ahead.
name is Madam TJ. Thank you.
Madam CJ.
You
Okay.
see this female, yeah, Madam TJ. Yeah. You see this female mutilation, I'm from the Delta.
Okay.
It's part of it's the culture there. But fortunately, I became a witness, and we don't do it because it's not biblical. God who told Abraham to circumcise the males, he did not mention females. So for that reason, we don't circumcise. So it took me, in fact, it was a tug of war. My mother said, okay, she knows what she will do. That she will call men, they will hold me and force me. I said, okay, ma. If you force me, I'm going to go to the police and also report you. They will arrest me. My mother saw that it was a serious matter. I said, okay, please. It's okay. That is just that I'm the senior daughter. So if I refuse to do, and all my juniors, all of us, we are now following the witness part, that she will no longer go to the that is circumcision parties. It's a big party for my place. Oh my God. The girl will enter party room after the circumcision, not big party. So my mother said she will no longer be going to people's party to eat. Because the one day they will abuse her. You where your children they do what are you coming to do? To come and eat. So she will talk to me. I say, thank you, ma. Thank you. So then that is how I free from my mama hand. Unfortunately for me, for my mother too to hear the truth, it was years later when my mother have died that over the radio, one Professor Lambo now explain how the thing started in the Western world here. Hey, through the encouragement from the demon of the water, and then the thing instituted it to be what to be done to all women. I say, God, so you see now, something that cannot be found in the Bible can be found with the devil. You see now, so my dear, in fact, more people should hear it. They should. The thing is not true. What they say that it makes women to not to be sexually active, it doesn't. All of them are lies. I think you understand. And they are only saying that to make frighten people. And I women in my place, you know what they say call me? At my age, over 70, they call me ladies, a small lady. Why? Because I did not circumcise. I'm not a woman yet. Can you imagine that? So I really appreciate this topic. I really appreciate. Thank you very much. You people keep it up. And it's well done.
How far have Ibinabo, please help us react to this because myself, I don't even have words for it. Imagine how she narrowly escaped this from her mom, and that made her other sisters not to go through it. And then now parties that they throw because they want to celebrate, say you don't become woman. Hey God.
Before I mentioned it, association.
Yes.
He told me that it's a big deal in her hometown. There's an association, they have leaders, they have everything. So how do you cut through such without the support of the government? Because we just go there and talk, they look at you and you know, next week I they go one party, like last caller said, I they go one party of a lady that has become a woman already. You understand? So it's like you're taking something, a celebration, an activity, a great activity that would bring people together, a celebration, that kind of a thing, a big party from them. So it's a big deal. And without the support of the government, honestly, you're just going to be scratching on the surface. I remember in fact, a particular family.
Yeah.
I knew the brother, we were in school together. Their mother actually went to a neighbor's house to report because her children used to go to that house, and it's a big house. That family is well respected and everything. She went to report her two daughters that they have refused to follow her to the village to go and get themselves FGM'd. That's it. She started shouting, The father of the house had to come out and say, have you come to, what do you come to do here? You came out to, because those children went to hide in the house.
Mm.
They were, I think, 18, or maybe, no, they're not 18. The younger one was about 21, the other one was 24. She said, no man will marry them because they have refused to get circumcised. Hey, they are wayward. A mother saying all this about her daughters. These ladies refused them. And I don't know, we lost contact. I don't know what probably happened to them. Maybe and they're from Delta too. They're from Delta. Maybe they will address them as ladies, even at whatever age they are now. So you see, it's a lot. It's a lot. It is so well rooted that we need to go down to the bottom, to the very foundation of it, and begin to pick it and, uproot it gradually. You don't do it with too much force. Gradually work on the mindset of people. Because I like the fact that the last caller called. Because when this friend of mine told me, she said, they have association. They have association, okay. She said, that is a big celebration. They have association. They have the head of association. The head of association has her own returns and everything. So how do you break that? How do you break into that? How easy it is? It's a lot of work, and that is why we would need the government as much as we need NGOs, as much as we need religious leaders, we need our community leaders where they get return inside. It go easy, but with the government and the presence of a lot of law enforcement area.
Okay.
Then it will be more beautiful if they are made to understand the dangers inherent. You understand? Because if somebody forces you to stop something, the thing you stopping it no come from your mind. Now because of fear of the law and punishment. Mm-hmm. So we want to enforce laws, we still have to make them understand that look, above and beyond your celebration, above and beyond whatever it is that you think you are enjoying from this or you feel it is a big deal, look at the lady herself. Look at their lives. Is it fair? Why should we women, ladies, help to frustrate fellow ladies? Being wayward is not about your clitoris. It's your mind. It is your mindset. Everything we do in life comes from the head. That then you begin to process it. That's when you now look for which part of your body you use to actualize it. An arm robber will begin to imagine, how to rob from his head, all the planning and everything, but he will use his hand to carry the arms. He doesn't use his hand to plan it. He uses his head to plan. The same head, if you are wayward, not because you were not mutilated or whatever. It is not true. It is very, very unfair for anyone to pick up a baby. In Delta states, they even wait till you are a particular age. In some other places, they deal with you as a baby, where you even don't have a right. I think that was how it was done in this scholar's hometown. She for not even get where she won't get marked, because she not go do as a baby. So let's just, it is very, as we talk about
Thank you very much, Binabo. Thank you too to Susan. Please, Susan, keep doing the good work you're doing. And to Felicia too, thank you very much. Just want to wrap it up. I wanted also to touch the case of Omiye, is it Omiyele? I mean, the artist that died, the gospel artist, yes, but maybe we'll touch on that on Monday because there are some development that came through, and I really wanted to hear your take on that. But hey, we'll definitely take it next week. Thank you so much for coming on the program today. I urge you all to have a great day. And Mrs. CJ, we're happy for you that you escaped that one. And so many other women who escaped it. Please, let's continue to talk about it and spread the word back to our community and on the dangers of it. And I'm sure we'll definitely get it right. All right, let's do this again on Monday. God's willing, we'll be back here to go on with the program HerLens. My name is Rose Yusuf Kaiser. Thank you to each and every one of you who tuned in to listen to HerLens. Have a great weekend ahead and, be open-minded and just enjoy yourself this weekend. Good morning.